I've realized that goals are very often they're traps. They are things that keep us someplace else. As a goal is something that I'd like to get to, and I think enlightenment is I'm enjoying being here, in this moment, right here, right now. That's the only goal I have. And if you can take that and realize that that's all you have, that's all there is this now. The past is a great big illusion. The future is an illusion. It all takes place in the now, in the present. Learn to live in this moment and be fulfilled and grateful and happy that you're here in this moment, and everything else will take care of itself. Perfection of this moment, wherever you are, whatever city you're in, whatever age you're in, whatever body you're in, whatever the condition of that body, you can do a whole lot to improve it by just being in a state of gratitude and love in this moment with it, rather than trying to get someplace else. And so much of our anxiety, so much of the stress that we have in our lives is really about saying, I don't really like where I am right now. I'm going to like it better when I get someplace else. And that, if you look at what I just said, I don't like where I am right now, but I'm going to feel better when I get someplace else. When you do get to that someplace else, your mindset is always, I don't like where I am. And it's the, I don't like where I am, I want to get someplace else, that you'll take to the new mind, to the new space. And you'll just keep doing that and doing it, and that will become the story of your entire life.
Wayne Dyer was an icon in self-development and spiritual growth. He wrote over 40 books, including an astonishing 21 New York Times bestsellers. His childhood was spent in orphanages and foster homes, but he'd go on to inspire millions and become known as the father of motivation. In this exclusive radio show provided by our partners at Hay House, Wayne Dyer explains how to embrace a positive mindset, live in the present moment, and connect with the source. And if you want even more great Hay House content, check out their YouTube channel. We've linked it up down in the description below.
Hi, Summer. How are you?
I'm
Happy
great.
New Year.
Thank you. And
Happy New Year to everyone out there listening all over the world.
That's right. You know, it's funny. I've been thinking this year, what are my goals? Where are my goals? And I think for the first few days of the year, I couldn't think of a single thing. And I thought, what's happening? I'm usually so full of these. It was like I had reached this place of complete stillness or emptiness. And only in the last couple days have things started to filter in about what I really want to do. And I'm wondering if that's a common feeling that you've been hearing out there right now.
Well, I think a lot of people do that around the calendar time, but I don't go on I go on the Chinese calendar, so none of this makes any sense.
Oh.
I've never been a real big person on setting a date and then deciding it was that date that you're going to, set resolutions and set goals based on a calendar. I think that each and every day is just an opportunity to create for yourself the kind of life that you want at any moment, at any time. You don't have to wait till January or February, and you don't have to wait till, somebody else, till everything aligns and the planets all get proper and so on. All you have to do is go within and decide that this is going to be, your year, your day, your minute, and live it from that perspective rather than getting focused. Because almost always when you set a date, I noticed it at yoga class, January, my yoga instructor said the first 16 or 17 days of January, the classes are really full. They get fuller and fuller and fuller. Then she said by about the 18th, they get a little bit smaller. And then by February, they're right back to where they were before this. Everybody has these great and wonderful ideas that they're going to do it at the beginning of the year. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to make more money. I'm going to fix my relationship. I'm going to, get a new job, whatever it might be. And because it's based upon something external to yourself, like a date of a calendar, as soon as your inner motivation begins to wane just a little bit, there goes your all your commitments and all the things that you want to do. I think it's much more significant for me is just to say, okay, I've made a decision. This is what I'm going to do. This is how my life is going to go, and I'm going to just work on it today, just today. And as it says in the Tao, and in Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with just a single step. A building of 100 stories begins with one brick. Take the step, build the brick, and then go on from there, rather than putting it on something outside of ourselves. But, I'm unusual in that regard. A lot of people do use New Year's as a time to get started on a whole new life and a whole new thing. If that's the way you're doing it, great, stay with it, but try to do it just one day at a time.
Yeah. Well, I wonder, too, if we pick goals that we think we should do as opposed to ones that we really want to do, and that's why we lose interest or lose motivation after a while.
I used to be very, very big on goals and setting them, and I even wrote about it many, many years ago. But as I've grown in my own way and perhaps become older or whatever it might be, I've realized that goals are very often they're traps. They are things that keep us someplace else away from here. As a goal is something that I'd like to get to, And I think enlightenment is, I'm enjoying being here, in this moment, right here, right now. That's the only goal I have. And if you can take that and realize that that's all you have, that's all there is this now. The past is a great big illusion. The future is an illusion. It all takes place in the now, in the present. Learn to live in this moment and be, fulfilled and grateful and happy that you're here in this moment, and everything else will take care of itself.
In the Tao, in the now.
In the Tao, in the now. Do the Tao now. It's all in. Change your thoughts, change your life. Also want to take this opportunity to invite I'm going to be on QVC. I'm in Maui right now, but I'm going to be on QVC on Tuesday, Eastern Time, 5 o'clock. Again, 1 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, and 8 o'clock at night on Wednesday of this week. That's tomorrow and the next day. So you do your calculations with your clocks, but I'll be on QVC talking about change your thoughts, change your life if you want to tune in. And also want to invite everyone to come here in October. Come to Maui. We're going to have a wonderful, wonderful event like we did last year as well. You can look it up on my website.
Well, there's a goal worth aspiring to this year.
There you go.
Your October Maui trip for your soul. Okay, how about if we start talking with our callers? They are lining up.
Are they lining up?
Probably because they're all feeling motivated. They say, okay, I'm finally going to call. Now it's the new year. Okay, why don't we go ahead and start with someone calling all the way from France on line 2, Catherine. Welcome to our program today.
Hello, I hope you can hear me okay. You seem to be calling from a long way away.
Well, we hear you pretty well so far. Just be sure to speak right into your phone so it's not too muffled. Go ahead, you're live.
That's excellent. Hello there. I'm actually made a major life choice to move from London to the centre of France last year in September. I had a great desire to be surrounded by cows and trees and fields and countryside rather than the stress and strain of city life, which wasn't good for me. But nothing really seems to have changed apart from my location. I'm still finding everything is just pressing down on me, and I'm just under as much pressure over here as I was in London. And I feel really stuck, and I don't know which way to turn. I want to be living a better, more spiritual life, but I just seem to still be drowning.
I think that you may have left London, your body may have left London and the city life and all of the, the fast-paced kind of thing that you were probably used to for your lifetime. And then you arrive in the idyllic space, which is, the cows and the trees and the clouds. And I saw a cartoon one time of a couple just sitting there looking at the sunset, and he's looking at his wife, and both of them are now retired and just looking at the sunset. And he said, if this is what I've been planning for my entire life, I'd rather go back to doing the work. And I think it relates a little bit to what Summer and I were just, schmoozing about there at the beginning of the show, about being able to be in the moment and be present right here, right now. This is what you have. This is it. This is like, and there'll come a moment when you'll begin to realize that, Voltaire was right. He said, wherever I go, there I am. Wherever I go, there I am. In other words, this has really nothing to do with the location and where you are and who's around you and the circumstances and whatever situations you find yourself in. It has to do with how well you are able to say to yourself, I intend to be a happy, fulfilled person. I'm going to serve. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to help other people. I'm going to get my ego out of this thing and just enjoy where I am and reach out. And it's a constant state of reaching out. I think the big thing that so many people seem to struggle with is this whole ego of theirs, which is like I'm drowning and things aren't happening for me and they're not going the way that I want them to go. And you get into this constant state of always trying to be someplace else, always looking towards, being in a future moment or in a future place or a quieter place or a nicer place. I'm going through that right now where I am, right here on Maui. I mean, it's like it's as beautiful a place as there is in the world, but right next door, right outside my window to where I am, they've decided to build a new 12-story, another huge complex, and it's pounding, and it's beeping, and it's, you know what living next door to a construction site must be like, and it's trucks everywhere, and construction workers, and And I think to myself, you know what? I'm going to go to the middle of France is what I was saying the other day. And now I got you. I'm going to the south of France. I'm just going to get away from all of this, get away from this noise and all of that. And then I began to realize it's not the noise and it's not the construction workers. It's not, these are just things that are good. This is just the environment that I happen to be in at this particular time, at this moment. And if I can learn to be here and be peaceful wherever I am, then what's going on around me and where I am won't make much of a difference. So what was it that you left London to get to France for, other than the cows?
I actually just wanted to find me again, which seems really silly. I spend my entire life doing for other people, and I will always put off everything for me if there's something for somebody else that needs doing.
Did it ever occur to you, what is your first name?
It's Catherine.
Catherine, did it ever occur to you, just let this in for a moment, that everything that you were doing for everybody else all this time for your entire life was you? That is you? That's as close to being peaceful and godlike and serene and in harmony with the Tao and in a space of divine alignment, that this is you? That it's like if you ask yourself, what does it mean to be as aligned with God as I possibly can be, with soul, with spirit, whatever, and you'd realize that it's about serving, it's about giving, it's about offering, and in the process of doing that your greatest joys in your life were there, and then you're trying to escape the very thing that is your essence, and there's so many people out there who probably could benefit from the experiences that you've had of serving and reaching out for others, especially if you've been doing it without resentment. And I suggest that you may be feeling a little bit of the resentment now that you're a little bit older, but while it was happening, that was probably your greatest joy that you could offer. How can I serve my children, my friends' children, whatever it is, the world, whoever it is that I was serving? And
that's so bizarre, because I've actually kind of always, ever since I've sort of started to try and find this path, I've been kind of saying to myself, I want to be helping people, I want to be making a difference. And actually, all I've done is completely ignore the fact that I'm already doing it. That's a bizarre way of looking at it. But
so now, what I would recommend for you is to find the joy and to find the peace that you experience in that reaching out, in that very reaching out that you're doing and have been doing probably for your entire life. And rather than trying to escape it, just say that wherever I am, I'm going to be in that space of serving and offering and making life better for other people. And that's what makes me feel good. That's who I am. And most of us out there need to learn to be more like you have been your entire life. That's what makes us all feel purposeful and on mission. It's never about what's in it for me or what can I do for me or how much am I going to get or whatever it is. It's always, always about living the virtues, living in a way in which you are serving. And I suggest you've been doing that your whole life and keep doing just exactly that. And it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're right next to a construction site or if you're, in the middle of France or if you're in London. It doesn't make any difference. It's like it's within you. You know that it's reaching out and serving and loving is who you are. And take great solace in the fact that you've been able to do that and be that kind of a person for a lifetime.
Well, that just makes so much sense. And I just feel completely full of happiness and gratitude, and thank you very much. It's really sort of flipped my thoughts around, so thank you.
Well,
bless
good.
You.
That's what we're doing today. We're flipping people like pancakes. We just flip you over.
And we're gonna flip you off the lines right now.
Bonjour.
Unfortunately, her line was getting a little hot for us, so we're gonna have to move on, and hopefully we'll hear Elizabeth in Chicago a little bit better. Elizabeth, line 1, welcome to our program today.
Oh. Hello.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello. Nice to speak with you.
Likewise.
I love seeing you on the programs on TV. It's been very encouraging. I really appreciate all that you do. And I try to take in mind and use some of the skills that you provide. However, I'm still having the trouble with some doubts of my own, and I try to overcome them, but they're like a pebble in the shoe that keep coming back. I changed my career about 2 years ago, and then since then, I did it because I felt I wasn't doing what I was, purpose to do. And it was hurting me, actually, the kind of work I did, not, physically, but ultimately now my health is a problem. And then financially, I'm on a tightrope. I have wonderful family and friends that are helping me, and the whole process, I'm trying to get some wisdom out of it. And I just am trying to hold on to the positive, good feelings. It's just going on for a while that I'm getting tired.
Yeah. You know what it is? It sounds to me, Elizabeth, like you're just working so hard at it, and so much. I know in my own self, when I look at my own life and when I get anxious and upset, and then I know it affects my health, because I'm very conscious of any thoughts that I have. I can feel it in my stomach. I can feel, the process of the ability to grow an ulcer if I don't change the kinds of ways that I'm thinking and so on. And when I'm able to get to this place, this beautiful place where I just stop all the agonizing and the thinking and the processing and the figuring it all out, and begin to just move into another place and say, you know what? I'm not on a financial tightrope at all. I'm being taken care of. I'm being provided for. The universe is offering me help in the form of my friends and so on. Where are you located? I'm
in Chicago, the Midwest.
In Chicago, that's what I thought. Yes. Yeah. So tell us just to because a lot of people just tuned in now. You had made some decisions to change, and now you're feeling it in your health. And what else were you saying?
Yes, health and financially. Really dealing with a lot of the repercussions of having to change my life. I'm trying to I thought I'd found a life purpose, and then now I'm, getting some things that I'm dealing with personally in my issues and of health. I've changed my life significantly, even to the way that I'm eating. I'm healing naturally without any medication, which I'm very happy for. I had to do it with not having wheat, no dairy, no soy for certain reasons. And that's really helped, but I have tried hard, like you said earlier. I'm maybe trying too hard.
Yes.
However, these things were so significant, and I felt I had such a short time to really make changes that were, good for my health.
What was the health challenge?
It was a process of discovering all this slowly. First, it's a thyroid issue, an enlarged thyroid. The doctors wanted to remove it. I wanted to do this naturally first. So I did. I found a really good department in a hospital that is integrative health. And they've been helpful. I've, had several approaches, and then going to a naturopath confirmed the fact that I, shouldn't eat wheat for another reason that we've discovered, the autoimmune imbalance. So that one's even a little more serious. It was something to really look at. So I eat foods that don't cause inflammation in my body. So I don't develop any chronic diseases at this point. But I feel that the job that I did before was really the cause of it. No melatonin, really.
Yeah.
So now I'm really dealing with the repercussions, but I'm trying to find that place where I get the balance in my life. And, finding a job purpose, I feel I'm a professional organizer, and now I'm looking for clients that need work. And I feel I do it very well.
Okay, let me just react because we can't stay too long. And I think you really summed it up really nice when you said you're a professional organizer, because that's what I kept hearing, as you were talking, and we've only talked a few minutes, but that you're sort of organizing your inner world as well, almost to a point of over-organizing it and over-analyzing it and over-figuring it and over-worrying about it. And I hear the word worry coming out a lot, like anxiety, stress, fear, these kinds of things. And these are all within your capacity to remove them almost instantaneously. I mean, the Tao, have you read Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I would really recommend that you look into it. Just look into it slowly, just because the Tao, it's about the Tao Te Ching, and it's really about teaching you how to relax, how to let go, how to stop figuring, how to stop worrying. So just take the low road, take the the sweet road, the easy road, the peaceful road. Take the one inside of you where you start telling yourself, you know what, Elizabeth, I have the capacity to be able to make my body work and balance itself out perfectly. I don't really need to have somebody else constantly looking into me and into my system and constantly analyzing and so on. I have within me the capacity to live a peaceful, divine, easy, stress-free, physically healthy, financially free life. I have that, those kinds of affirmations. I just saw a really great movie. I'm also in it.
Really?
But it's not because I'm in it. It's and I really recommend this to you, and I'd like everybody out there to think about it as well. It's called You Can Heal Your Life, the movie. And it's Louise Hay's movie. It is so perfect for you right now, Elizabeth. I mean, you can get a hold of this by just, transferring your call over to Hay House and have it for you. You can have it tomorrow or the next day in the mail. It's called You Can Heal Your Life, the movie. Get the expanded edition. I've got quite a bit of information in there on there. There's an interview in there with Christiane Northrup. You know who she is? Christiane Northrup, the medical doctor. She's on Oprah quite a bit. You'll really, really want to hear what she has to say in the expanded version. That's an assignment for you, okay?
Okay.
You Can Heal Your Life, the movie, and go to the second disc and the one that says the interviews, and listen to Christiane Northrup and listen to what I have to say in there. And then, and you're at peace, and you don't even have to worry about your weight. It's not what you eat, it's what you believe about what you eat. It's not what you eat, it's what you believe about what you eat. So even if you're drinking... Even if you're drinking industrial waste and chewing on an old tire, if you believe it's going to make you healthy, it's going to. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
That's how strong the mind is. That's really how strong your mind is.
Luckily, my weight isn't an issue. Yeah, it's not that.
There's no issues out there. Stop organizing everything. Just let it be. And let it be. You don't have to organize anything. God bless you, my dear.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Namaste.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Well, Dr. Dyer,
have you seen the movie? Have you seen the movie?
Absolutely, yes. I saw the premiere of it back in October, and it was amazing.
It's just so good.
It's just really well done.
It makes The Secret look like, just a little cartoon compared to what's in that film.
I think for me the main difference was that Louise's movie really focuses on your inner life, and The Secret for me was more about the outer life. And so that was kind of where it came down to for me. So, it's a great movie.
Yeah, and there's so many wonderful positive affirmations. A person like Elizabeth who is organizing, who is worrying, who is thinking about all of these things all the time, her mind is on go. It's on go all the time. It needs to get on stop.
Now you're talking to me.
It needs to get on peace. It needs to get on ease and trusting. She used the word doubt before. It's just like getting to that place where you trust, where you know that guidance is available to you. And Louise's film is so good in regard to that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Just because I'm in it doesn't the reason I made it so good,
You're a big piece of that movie.
I'm a
you
big
won't say
movie star now, so there. Okay, let's take another call if we have time.
Yes, absolutely. I think a lot of people right now, this time of year too, are searching for questions about change. Are they doing it right? Are they going in the right direction? We have Brian from New York. Brian, line 9. Now, Brian, you seem familiar to me. Is it just your question that's familiar, or have you spoken with us before?
No, I've never spoken to you before.
All right. Well, something about your question's ringing a bell, so let's be out with it.
Well, first I want to say you have the voice of an angel, Summer.
Thank you.
You have the mind of a prophet. Thanks, Brahma, for all you do. It's a great, great honor to speak to you. And I'm just calling. You're welcome. You're very welcome. I'm sort of a slow learner, and I want to look into freelance writing and apply for research grants for a career. But I was wondering, at 32, how do I know that I'm on my way to achieving my potential? I understand you should be at peace always, on its way, and all that.
Well, the answer to that question is you never know that. You never know that because you're not on your way anywhere. You're already here,
right.
And that's what your whole life looks like. Truly, that's what your whole life looks like, Brian, is that you're always here. You're always in this moment. All of the 32 years that you've had up until now, all of them were experienced in the now. The next 32 years that you're going to have, or 32 minutes, when none of us know what that is, that's all going to experience, not going to be experienced in the future. It's going to be experienced now, in this moment. The height of enlightenment, the highest place you can get to is to be in that place where in this moment, I am feeling a sense of who I am, what I'm doing, why I'm here, rather than I'll know it when I get someplace else, because that's an illusion that will keep, it'll haunt you for the rest of your life. You'll always be, no matter what it is that you reach, whatever goal that you have for yourself to reach, when you reach it, if your focus, your mind energy is always on getting someplace else, when you do get to that someplace else, you'll just upgrade and then you'll need more money, you'll need a bigger job, you'll need a better wife, you'll need you'll need a bigger home, you'll need whatever it might be, you'll need more time. It's when you can shift it all back and like everybody out there all across the world, there's hundreds of thousands of you listening right now. It's just like, now, it's here, it's this moment. That's the theme of today's show, because it's the first show of the year. And it's not like you're going to find it in October or you're going to find it next Christmas. It's here. It's now. It's here in this moment. And you're never going to have the answer that you've asked the question to. It's like, how will I know? The only thing I can say to you is that if you feel good, if you have the emotion within you that says, this is what I want to be doing right now, and what I want to be doing next year or 2 years from now or 10 years from now, it's like I'm going to leave that up to the gods. I'm going to leave that up to Source,
Right. It reminds me of that caller who had a guarded heart. You said you have to be at peace and love everyone who comes into your life. Like life is a stage, and love everyone and be here now. It's sort of the same advice, I guess. You can.
It is. It's almost all the advice that any of us ever really need. Because it's the answer to most of the things that we call stress or anxiety, and that's the upset stomachs, that's the ulcers, that's the worry, that's the insomnia, that's the addictions. All of that is, and that can go on and on with that list. All of that stuff just revolves around the issue of not knowing how to be able to let go and let God and allow this, this perfection of this moment, wherever you are, whatever city you're in, whatever age you're in, whatever body you're in, whatever the condition of that body, you can do a whole lot to improve it by just being in a state of gratitude and love in this moment with it, rather than trying to get someplace else. And so much of our anxiety, so much of the stress that we have in our lives is really about saying, I don't really like where I am right now. I'm going to like it better when I get someplace else. And that, if you look at what I just said, I don't like where I am right now, but I'm going to feel better when I get someplace else. When you do get to that someplace else, your mindset is always, I don't like where I am. And it's the, I don't like where I am, I want to get someplace else, that you'll take to the new mind, to the new space, and you'll just keep doing that and doing it. And that will become the story of your entire life. And, that's basically the message I have for the beginning of this year.
Well, thanks, and I look forward to Excuses Be Gone, and You Can Heal Your Life. We should all watch it, I guess.
Yeah, You Can Heal Your Life is wonderful. And check out QVC in the next couple of days. So.
All right, thanks again. It was a
Thanks,
privilege.
Brian.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. God bless you, my friend. It's a privilege to talk to you as well.
Thanks, Brian.
You.
How about Rich? You're calling from Sandy, Oregon. Rich, line 4, welcome to our program.
Hello.
Hi, Rich.
Hi, Rich.
You're live.
How you doing?
With
Yes,
Dr. Wayne Dyer.
Dr. Dyer. My God, I can't believe I'm talking to you. It's a real pleasure. I started listening
Thank
to you
you
all the way back to Johnny Carson. So you plan?
Oh my goodness, you've been around a while now.
I tell you.
You're an old fart like I am.
Yes,
huh?
I am, as a matter of fact.
Some of our listeners are saying, who's Johnny Carson? Can you believe that? I can't.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Way before Jay Leno.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
My first series with you was The Awakened Life, and you planted so many seeds.
Well, thank you. It's great to talk to you.
It's just amazing. I'm sitting here in front of my computer, and there's Lao Tzu sitting there looking at me, too.
Oh, my goodness. He's here with me, too. That guy goes everywhere.
And there's this bull over there in the corner. It's like,
I thought he just loved me. I didn't know he loved other people. What's going on here?
Well, as you can tell, I've been hanging around for a while.
Yeah.
And studied everything you ever mentioned. I'm right in the middle of Power versus Force and I, and it's just amazing. I used to be able to see auras and oh God, manifest. I can manifest anything I really truly want, and I even shapeshifted a couple times until I said,
"Really?
Yeah, it was amazing, just amazing." And at the second that my mind went, "Ha!" I came out.
Yeah, there you go. Boy, do I know that feeling. As soon as the ego gets involved, it's, like I'm going to show off and show what I can do now. And the minute that you do that, it's like God says, oh, no. I'll be doing this, not you.
It was amazing. And it flowed and it came and it's like, wow, look at that. I'm a hawk up. I was in Southern California. The biggest thing, and I think Dr. Dyer can understand it, I kind of lost my way the last 3 or 4 months, and I just cannot get the spark. I don't know where it went or how I lost it. I probably started really working my mind too much or ego too much. I got sober May 23rd, 1988, and been in AA ever since.
Wow, good for you. We're almost the same, 87 for me, so that's wonderful. 20 years, yeah.
I go in there, and it's like I just hear blah, blah, blah anymore, and it's like I've been told I talk over everybody's head, and they don't understand what I'm talking about, but I was always...
How old are you, Rich?
61.
61?
Yeah.
You're a kid.
Yeah. Yes, I am, in the spirit of the universe. But I've been able
Go ahead.
I've been able to do so many things with my life, but just getting through to you was something that I knew I was going to do, and it's amazing. Even as a little kid, I knew that I was something other than. I always had a spiritual feeling, even as a little kid when I first got sober. I knew there was a God. I was just mad at him,
Are you sponsoring anyone, Rich?
I haven't lately.
That's really neat.
I'm on
you need to do that right away, like today.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to maybe go to a meeting, or you've been free, but the reason that you got free and you never went back is because you were designated to. Those of us who get through that addiction stuff, where our life is really spinning out of control, and then we get it back. The reason that we get it back and that we don't go back and fail anymore in that area is because we've been designated as teachers, we've been as reachers to reach out to other people, and we lose our spark when our focus goes off of that and onto ourselves and what's in it for me and so on. I'd recommend that you take today, just sometime today. I'd also recommend that you I do this a lot, though. I recommend you go to a yoga class. I don't know if you've done yoga ever in your life.
No, I was in Tai Chi for a time, but not yoga.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really good, because it'll get you back into the kind of physical shape where you'll start really feeling this. I do Bikram yoga and recommend it strongly, but whatever it might be, you'll start being around the right people, the people who are motivated and driven and so on. And you're a teacher, you're an elder. You are someone who has been down the road, who has experienced a lot of stuff, who's been a learner, who's been open. You've talked about, listening to me back in the 70s, and the early 80s. So you've been on this path for a long time.
Wow.
And it's like the way that elders need to behave, I think, is by practicing reaching out as much as they possibly can, especially in that area, because our country right now, Rich, it's just filled with people who are desperate for some relief from the addictions. We've got a huge, huge, huge issue, not just with, illegal drugs and alcohol and so on, but with so many of the stuff that's being prescribed in our medical community. We're in big trouble that way, and we need people like you to reach out and help them. So that would be my advice to you today.
I truly feel that. Last week I've been having japa meditation. I've been having trouble with that. I keep flipping in the ego. Now I can pray okay.
Yeah. It's because you know what it is? You're thinking too much about yourself. And instead of asking the question, what can I do and why have I lost my spark, I would recommend you do this. Just say, how may I serve? What can I do for you? I'd also recommend that I did to the caller before, the new movie. Have you seen Louise's movie, You Can Heal Your...
I've seen it a couple, 3 times. In fact, hey,
have you?
Give me a discount. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. That's really great to hear. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Did you like it? Did you like the film?
It's great. Marianne Williamson, she's outrageous. My daughter sent me one of her CDs.
Yeah, she's beautiful. I talked to her yesterday. She's got a brand new book out, too, with Hay House. It just came out about midlife miracles. Really well written. Very, 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 very nice job. She's
amazing. You're amazing.
Yes. Well, thank you. And so are you, my friend. So get out there. You're just a 61-year-old kid. Get out there and make something happen for somebody, especially somebody who needs you. I would recommend you sponsor somebody.
Okay, yeah.
You may have forgotten about how important that is.
It is important. I speak to the guide dogs for the blind in Oregon, and getting some foster kids, and that's one of the things I ask all day long. How may I serve? And these things come to me. It's just recently I've spun out, and the next thing I really want to do is be a life coach.
There you go. So I would spin out right now this afternoon and try to find an AA meeting that's closest to you.
Oh, I go to them 3 times a week, 4 times a week.
Do you?
Yeah.
And then just find someone that really needs, is wavering, is someone's on the edge. I think it's a man. I think he's in his 20s, and he's wavering, and he's just like waiting for you. I'm telling you, he's out there. You'll see him. You'll meet him today.
I'll find him.
You'll meet him today. I think his name might be Greg or Craig or something like that. Just be open to it, okay?
I will. And it's
okay, my friend.
It's been a pleasure.
Namaste. God bless you.
Thanks so much, Rich.
Thanks. Great call.
Yeah.
You just sound like Craig, Rich. I don't know if you can still hear me, but you just sound like someone that's just that other people like to be around. I certainly enjoyed talking to you very much. Okay, let's take one more call. Or maybe two.
We'll see what we end up with here. Yep, all right. How about Darlene now, calling from New York on line 6. Darlene, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Hi, Darlene. How are you?
Hi, I'm terrific. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to tell you, I had to laugh when you were talking in the beginning of the show about finding peace because you have the construction next door.
Yes, right.
Yeah, I think you have been so spoiled. Living in New York City.
I was going to say, if that's my biggest problem, I got a pretty easy life, don't I?
Yeah, I mean, wow. I'm glad you could get over that,
I know that didn't anybody in New York. I'm not going to get a lot of sympathy. I know that.
Yeah.
But it is a big pain in the rear end to listen. Here it is.
Beep, 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 beep. Hey, cut that out. They're going to think that's a problem on the website here.
I completely get it. It is a pain, but I really want to thank you. I mean, I've been able to find the peace. I mean, I think what your other caller about trying too hard, and that was my last year. I'm thinking like, I'm doing all these things. Like, come on, let me see the results. But I did relax, and things have been working really well. I've changed careers. I was doing a lot with 9/11, and I've put that aside now and helping families and things. But it's moving in my direction, and people are willing to help me, and it's just been absolutely wonderful and amazing. Last end of the year and now, and I mean, I do your meditations and I follow, and I just want to thank you so much because
you're so welcome. You're helping a lot of people right now by just coming out with the words that you're coming out with. Because don't you think, Darlene, that everything is sort of like cyclical? I mean that's what Lao Tzu says in the Tao and all of that. It's in cycles. And that, when you're in a down cycle, when then that's been several of the calls today. Things were going well, and now I can't find the spark, or now I can't. But if you recollect about cycles, that even nature, Lao Tzu says that even nature cannot produce a storm that lasts forever. It's not possible. Even if it lasts for 100,000 years, it's still built into the storm and the storms of your life and the difficulties and the struggles and the low points of your life. Built into that is the peace. It's like the hurricane, that the eye of the, at the very center of the hurricane, there's this peaceful, almost quiet, divine place in there. And if you can just know that and just you can begin to access, you can pull it right out of the morass that you're in, out of the lowness that you're in, out of the absence of sparks that you're in. That's where you can find it, right by going right into it and facing it and looking at it and say, okay, so why have I attracted things not working out for me now? And what's going on here with my not meeting the right people? And what's going on with the finances? And you just turn it around and you look at it right in the eye and you face it and you realize that inside of that absence of peace, you'll find that peace. Inside of that stress is joy and comfort. And then extract it from the difficulty part, the time that it's part. Don't be telling yourself that it shouldn't be happening this way. It's exactly happening the way it's supposed to. Boy, if there's any lesson I've learned in these 67 years, it is that there is a purpose to every single thing that's going on in my life. There's some kind of an intelligence behind these things that are negatives and that it seems so difficult and seems so hard for us to handle. So
you're absolutely right. Because when you look back, you see all the lessons that you've learned and why you were in those situations. And I don't think if those things hadn't happened in the last year, I would be where I am now. I don't know. I think it's just been amazing. It's
isn't gratitude? Aren't you saying something about almost being grateful for those lows
all the time.
and the
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, gratitude all the time. Like you say, you get out of bed and you say, thank you, my eyes are open.
Yeah. But our first inclination when things aren't going well, when things don't work out for us, our first inclination is to be upset about it, to be angry about it, and to wish that it weren't there. And if we could just change that thought around to, this is I'm supposed to be going through this now. You know, where does it say that everything is supposed to be smooth and easy and the money is just supposed to open when I open the windows? That's only my kids who get that. You know, nobody else gets They just have the thing. You just open the window and the money just pours in. They call themselves great manifestors, you know?
Yeah. And that works, right?
Yeah. It works for them, but,
that's right.
you know.
Yeah. No,
But
yeah,
I mean,
no,
it's like, we have our instant thought is, this shouldn't be happening. Why is this happening to me? How come I don't get this? How come and instead of saying, thank you for this is great. Here's another opportunity for me. And it's not like you're blowing smoke or you're just pretending. You're really in that kind of a state where you say, whatever you have for me, whatever's coming this way, I'll handle it. I'll take care of that. And out of it, I will make something good will come from it. I just trust that way. I don't believe that the world is a negative place. It's a place that supports when I have my thoughts aligned with that.
Yeah, because because when the positive times are, you don't say, "Why is this happening?" You just grow with it.
Oh no,
right?
Yeah.
And so, dropping the past is great, you know.
Yeah, but what you just said is really important. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and then I learned from that. I moved on. That was then. This is now. And it takes away so much stress. You know, it's just absolutely amazing. And not being able to predict the future, but knowing that, you know, that you'll be able to deal
whatever
with
comes along.
Come up.
Whatever comes along, I'm prepared to handle it. The universe is never going to give me any more than I can handle. There's an absolute awareness of that. But the reverse of this is true as well, that when things are going really well and everything seems to be showing up on time and the manifesting is taking place and so on, that it's still a cyclical nature, the universe that we're in. And it's still that built into those really good times, into the highest point. Like if you're at the highest point, and let's just say it's a mountain, and you're at the very, very top of the mountain, and oh my God, this is as good as it gets. And you look around, you say, Jesus, there's only one direction I can go from here. You know, the mountain goes down too, so I'm going back down into the valley. But when I'm in the valley, but instead of that being some horrible thing, that's like you can just say to yourself, whatever comes along, I can handle it. If I'm in a hill, I'll head for the valley, and I'm still going to be at peace on my way to the valley and out of the valley as well. And that's the way you deal with it, rather than expecting life to be perfect.
You roll with it, right? Exactly.
You do, exactly. You roll with it, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm learning that. It's really good, and so thank you so much. You know, I really.
Is there really construction noise in New York City, though? I didn't think there was any noise there.
Yeah. Well,
even in the middle of Central Park,
that would be in a dream world, yeah.
It's a peaceful, quiet place. No horns honking. Everybody's peaceful. Everybody loves everybody.
I do find though, it's when I'm in that better place that people are different to me. You know, things are. Yeah. You know, you do have that connection with people, even though it is New York.
Yeah, New York is great.
Yeah, I love it too. Okay.
Thank you, sweetheart. God bless you, Darlene. So you're a beautiful soul.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Darlene. All right. And that wraps up our program today. Thank you, Dr. Dyer.
You're welcome. God bless you. Talk to you next week, sweetheart.
Absolutely. See you next week.
To watch another amazing Wayne Dyer video, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
When you get to this place, and I've talked about it many times, about where you surrender and you let go and you start to realize that there is something bigger moving all the pieces around and all of these things that we call coincidences.